How to use Metamask Wallet. In this video, I'll show you very simply what you need to know to use MetaMask, the best practices in getting it set up securely, and what the different features and settings are. Now, with all the chaos that has gone on over the past week, and everyone saying to get your coins off of exchanges, this looks like a prime time to revisit the fundamentals and make sure that we protect the capital that we have left. I'm Josh Cross from Coin Academy, where we clarify the noise of crypto through education and entertainment and never ever give financial advice. Each week we'll have new tutorials, video explainers, interviews, or other updates, so make sure to subscribe down below so that you get the most out of the bear market and you don't miss out. Now let's get right into it. MetaMask is a virtual wallet that you can use to store, to send, or receive crypto, NFTs, or similar assets. It's a hot wallet, so your funds are easily accessible anytime without any additional software or hardware. It's just a browser extension or an app on your phone. That makes it super convenient, but also less secure, just like storing cash in your own wallet versus a bank account or a vault. So keep that in mind and don't store too much of your funds until you're comfortable with how to use all of this. With that said, let's go to Google Chrome and get set up. So here we are in Google Chrome, and because we're practicing best practices, the first thing we're going to do is create a new account. So let's go down, we're going to click add down here. And we don't need to sign in on this one because we don't really need Google to be tracking everything we're doing. Let's choose a color real quick. Let's name it Mainnet Tutorials. Awesome. So then once we're set up here, we have our own little account here, Mainnet Tutorials. And we're going to go to metamask.io. Make sure that we are in the right place, metamask.io right there. Perfect. We have our check mark, which shows the connection is secure. And we'll go to download. It automatically knows that we're using Chrome. Let's scroll down, install MetaMask for Chrome. This opens up the Chrome web store, and this is important that you should only get it from the Chrome web store. And you see that it's also verified there. It has 10 million plus users. There's over 2,700 reviews of it. We know this is a legitimate one. Let's add it to Chrome. Perfect. Now that it's installed, we can get started getting our wallet set up. But first, let's go ahead and click this puzzle piece and pin it. That way we have it always accessible right here. Let's get started. And that's up to you whether or not you want to allow that. I'm going to click no thanks. Now, if you wanted to import a secret recovery phrase, let's say maybe we have MetaMask on our phone and we want to import it, we could do it here. But in our case, we're going to get a new wallet set up by creating it right here. Let's create our wallet. And we need to give it a password. I do recommend using a password manager to generate this password so that it's secure. And I made a video on privacy and security where I have some good recommendations on that you can see in the top right corner of the screen. Let's paste our password, agree to the terms. And then they have a video here explaining what the secret recovery phrase is. You can watch that. I recommend watching it when you actually set your wallet up, but we're going to skip that right now because we already know what to do. And this is your secret recovery phrase. Inside this secret little box here are 12 words that are going to give complete access to your account. It is very important that you write this down. You can do it in a password manager like 1Password or LastPass or Dashlane. And then we definitely want to write it down on paper in multiple different locations. So let's click reveal. You can't see what this says because even though I'm never going to use this wallet because it's for tutorials, I also don't want anyone watching this video to use this wallet. You also need to make sure you keep them in this specific order. Using them in any different order will give you a completely different wallet. Let's click next, and we have to verify that we do them in the right order. And we'll go ahead and click these in the order that they were in the previous page. And confirm. And our wallet is set up. So we can see right here, we have our account. We can click that, which would copy it to the clipboard. We can choose different networks here. Right now, we're on the Ethereum mainnet. We could connect to Avalanche or Polygon or Binance Chain or many different networks all through MetaMask, which is really great. And if we click here, we can see our different accounts. So we have account number 1 that already generated. Let's keep things clear by clicking the 3 dots. And we're going to go to account details and name this one. Let's name it MetaMask Account 1. And we have our address right here, which you can see if you were to withdraw your money from a centralized exchange to MetaMask, this is what you would do. You would click it here, and then you would paste that on the withdrawal page of your centralized exchange. Let's click the check mark, and now we have renamed it. Now, one of the cool things about MetaMask is that we could click our account here and we can create another account. Let's name this Metamask account 2. And now look at that. We have 2 accounts. And you could really create as many accounts as you wanted to here, all using the same 12-word recovery phrase. So that's kind of cool. Now let's go into settings and we can take a look at those a little bit and I can explain some of them. So we're using United States dollar, which is fine. English, we're going to switch to system theme, which in my case is dark theme, which is really nice. If you wanted to, you can choose whether you want jazzy-cons or blockies. That's for this little profile picture you have there. See if we switch it to blockies. Really doesn't matter which one you choose. Now feel free to dig into the other settings here if you want to. Most of them you won't need to use. I would say networks is one that you will use. Or if you want to add other networks, let's say we want to add the Avalanche network or the Polygon network. The easiest way to do that will be open up a new tab and go to chainlist.info. And we're going to chainlist.info, double check that we're at the right URL. Chainlist.info, that's correct. We're going to give them permission to see our address, account balance, activity, and suggest transactions to approve. It cannot approve transactions for us, so that's important to remember. Great, so we're at Chainlist, and this is a really good way to add different networks to MetaMask. Let's search for Polygon. We're going to add the Polygon mainnet. There we go, add to MetaMask. It's asking us if we're going to allow this site to add a network to MetaMask, and we're going to approve it right here. And then it gives us the option to switch to Polygon. Let's switch network. Now, if we open up MetaMask again, we see that we have switched to the Polygon mainnet. And the native token on this network is Matic, and that's the one used for gas fees. That's good to know. And if we click on this here, we can go back to Ethereum if we wanted to. We can switch to Polygon very easily. Let's add another one. Let's say we want to add BSC. Binance Smart Chain mainnet. Chain ID 56, that's correct. And again, approve the transaction, make sure everything looks good. And again, we can switch the network. Now, by opening up MetaMask here, it tells us we have switched to the Binance Smart Chain mainnet. That's great. And again, we can swap back and forth. So going back to Ethereum, let's exit out of there. In fact, we can exit out of here as well. Mainly when I use MetaMask, I do it just within the little extension right here. So there's not really a need for me to do it in full screen. Although if you ever wanted to, it's very easy to expand the view and then you have your account in full screen again. And there we have it. Now it's important to remember that MetaMask itself as an extension is very secure. However, you need to make sure that you're getting it from the legitimate site to make sure you're not getting a phishing version of MetaMask that will steal your funds. It's also important to remember that the biggest security risk here is either yourself or your computer, and especially by showing our recovery phrase on screen, that makes it unsecure. So it's important to get a hardware wallet, especially if you're storing larger amounts of funds. So we'll show you how to do that in next week's videos. It's also important to remember, MetaMask never stores your private keys or wallet passwords or any of that on their own servers. That's all stored locally. So if you lose it, then your funds are gone forever. So be sure to back up all of your 12-word recovery phrase. Keep it somewhere very, very safe. Preferably back it up in multiple pieces of paper and then store those at multiple different geographic locations. So maybe one at your house, one at your mom's house, however you want to do it. Now in next week's tutorial, I'll show you how to get your Ledger hardware wallet connected to MetaMask so you can take your security to the next level. And even if your computer is infected with malware or something like that, you're still unlikely to lose funds. So if you don't have a hardware wallet, be sure to pick one up. There's a link down in the description, and make sure to subscribe while you're down there so that when that video is out, you're ready to go. Thanks so much for watching and keep learning.